Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Claire. I'm a coach, an intuitive, and a conscious creator. So I am here today to chat a little bit about navigating the loneliness that we feel on the cycle breaker journey. So I am specifically speaking to those who are feeling very sensitive at this time, very a lot of people who maybe identify as empath, or those of us who feel everything really deeply and really strongly, and yeah, and are connecting intuitively to the collective message that is encouraging us to become cycle breakers. Like, why do we do it? So what is a cycle breaker? Let's look at that. Cycle breakers are people who, and this can be literally anyone, anywhere. It doesn't have to be a spiritual or intuitive journey. Some people cycle break without even knowing that they are doing it. Cycle breaking in itself, yeah, is changing things for the next generation, whatever that looks like. So, what we're seeing a lot of now is let's start with like the homeschooling and unschooling, or changing to different schooling systems, or so cycle breaking in terms of systems of schooling, parenting, the medical world, the like political systems, you know, anything in terms of systems. um, Cycle breaking's big there across the world. We're feeling it hugely in terms of people looking for something different because it's just not working either for themselves or for their children. So that's the one. And then in amongst all of that, the cycle breaking that's happening is on like a really deep level of the way that we communicate, the way that we interpret and express emotion, the way that we choose to relate to others. So whether it's a spouse, a life partner, same thing, our children, our family, immediate family, our friends, it's stepping back and looking at why we do what we do, why we say what we say, um, boundary setting, um, everything in those, in that area or that realm of connecting. So that is what cycle breaking is. That's what it is by definition. um, but why does cycle breaking tend to be lonely for many people, for many of us? It's in itself, cycle breaking will be lonely because there is usually someone who steps out of the cycle, whether it's a cycle of abuse, a cycle of disrespect, a cycle of unawareness, a cycle of conformity, where we say, I am not going to accept this anymore. I'm ready to step out of the cycle. And when we do that, we leave something that has been working for so long that it's so hard to step out of it, because we do essentially stand alone. Even if there are millions of people doing it at the same time, it becomes very lonely because we are leaving something that we knew. So, for example, when I left the church system, I was filled with a deep feeling of sadness and grief. I had to grieve because there was a sense of community, there was a sense of belonging, there was a sense of knowing my place in that system. And it got to a point where I no longer knew myself in that system and I had to leave. And it was so difficult because it felt like being ripped away from something, even though it was a choice I made. I stepped out of it and I kept feeling that pull to return. Like it would be so much easier if I could just go back, but I can't. When I left the school system and I was teaching and I took my kids out, there is a comfort in the system. We know it. We know how it works. I went to the school system. I went through the 12 years of schooling. what am I doing? Why am I taking them out? I had my multitude of reasons. It got to a point where, and that's where it gets to when we cycle break. It gets to a point where you can no longer allow something to keep moving forward in the way that it's moving, and you have to leave. And then I left, and I felt that immediate feeling of, I should have just stayed. It's so much easier to be where I know how things work, where I feel that sense of community, that sense of belonging. And yet, everything outside of it is what we are looking for. But we have to stand alone for a little while and figure out what it's going to look like for us. And we're still on that journey 2 years later, but each little step helps us find our new sense of belonging, our new sense of, and we are still grateful for the past. I'm still grateful for the old cycle because it taught me what it needed to teach me when I was there, and then I needed to step out of it. Another one is cycles of communication. I grew up really people pleasing, not good at setting boundaries, allowing things into my space constantly because I felt bad. I never wanted to make anybody feel uncomfortable or unhappy. It felt easier to keep the peace and to keep the comfort until it didn't anymore, because then I was feeling the hurt and the hurt and the hurt. And it got to the point where I needed to, again, remove myself from that dynamic and that system. And then you feel like you have to stand there again on your own for a while you figure out what this is. And again, it feels so much easier just to go back and just keep the peace, keep people comfortable. But I had to leave for my own self and my own safety to feel this is a new path I'm taking for me and my children to set up something that works for us. So the loneliness is normal. The loneliness comes up just as a byproduct of breaking a cycle, but it doesn't have to be lonely all the time. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be something that we then sit with. So the loneliness can be navigated by finding the support that we need. And the first support structure that I leaned on was spirit, God, my guides, the angels, to really keep me moving forward. Am I on the right track? Where am I going with this? Why am I going this way? What is my next step? Constantly, and also with that, working with the nervous system, because the old cycles are still in my nervous system. They are still very much a part of who I am. And they constantly come up and rise to the surface for me to say, I remember that feeling. I remember that feeling. I remember that feeling. And allowing myself to say, that feeling is welcome. That feeling needs to be witnessed. That feeling needs to be seen. That feeling needs to be held so that we can move through and keep moving forward, or expressed, or whatever it is. The feeling's coming up for a reason. My nervous system is going into a certain state to tell me something. So there's that. And then with spirit, I'm sitting with the energies and the nervous system together, saying, as this emotion moves through, this energy moves through, how can I find healing? How can I find support, comfort? So I leaned on things like energy healing work, which you can do on your own. I have a video on energy healing on your own. You can go to Reiki, you can do Qigong, you can do so many different things that I don't even know about, probably. But there are many different ways. Going for a run, conscious dance, somatic work. There are so many ways to work with the energy. And a lot of the times we compartmentalize different things. So, like going to, let's say, the chiropractor, we put it as, physical. But I've had experiences where I go to the chiropractor, it's a trauma release. I feel something open, and it has an effect on the nervous system, my energy systems. So I feel like everything is always interconnected. That's the way it feels in me. So finding support for our energy, our nervous system, and finding support in others who are, and we're not always going to find somebody who is, I mean, I have yet to find people who are on the exact same path as me. I don't think any of us do, because it's our path. And it's like the visual of the crystal with like a million different rays coming through it. Each of us have light coming through and it's hitting differently. We're experiencing things differently. We're experiencing the world differently. If you take every single experience you've ever had, from birth to now, going into past lives if you want to, everything. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm not going to edit that out because I was on a roll and I'm going to forget what I was saying. But if you take every experience that you've had, there is no one in the world who is like you, not one other person. There may be similarities, there may be differences, but there is no one who is exactly like you. So finding people who have similarities and connecting and communicating with them about the similarities and not getting too focused on the differences unless they are harmful and you need to create boundaries, but allowing yourself to connect with people where the similarities come in to give yourself more of a sense of community, because again, we are all connected we are all cycle breaking in one way or another, however much we are doing it and in whatever area we are doing it. And then to end off with reminding ourselves to have grace and gratitude for the journey that we've left. So yes, when we cycle break, sorry, my eye's itchy now from the sneezing. When we cycle break, we will continuously find ourselves met with someone who is maybe in the old cycle, and it will trigger something in us. That is not that person triggering us on purpose. We cannot blame the person. We work with the trigger as it comes up. We say, oh, I'm feeling that feeling again. I'm feeling that feeling again. So people who will say, you shouldn't have done this, or people who, whatever it is, you'll know as you feel it, those triggers that come up where we go, oh, that came up for a reason. Now, I wasn't going to read, but I'm going to read. I'm going to do a card reading for the cycle breaking. Let's see what comes up. So I hope that was helpful. I hope it brought some awareness to your own journey as a cycle breaker, and hopefully helps you to alleviate some of the loneliness that comes with it. And it's the 3 cards that I got yesterday. So it definitely is correct. The first one is home. And the reason it's coming up is because, so this card specifically is saying your household situation is improving through a move or a healthy change in occupants. But what it came up for me was yesterday and now is that it's the situation within you is improving. The situation within you is housed in you is what is most important. So whether that's in your own life, your own sacred bubble, within your home, with those you live with, things improve and will continue to improve when you focus on breaking the cycles from a place of love, from a place of groundedness and connection to God. Golden opportunity. So this one is telling us that doors will open when we continue moving forward. Doors will continue to open. There will be opportunities for more connection, more community. The loneliness doesn't last forever. It's reminding us that there are more of us that are doing this and we will connect. It's just going to take time. It's a process and it feels like a slow process, but don't back down. So when you feel like it's too hard, it says stand up for what you believe is right. So I got this card a lot when I decided to unschool. And it doesn't necessarily mean sometimes standing up for what you believe is right looks like shouting people down and saying, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I believe. That's not what this card is telling us. I don't believe so. I believe it's telling us, don't back down from the decisions you've made. Stand up for what you believe is right within your own energy. I believe unschooling is right for my family, and I'm going to keep moving forward. And when my energy is saying that, when it's from the heart and I'm letting that energy out, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I need to keep moving forward. If I let every obstacle on my path stop me from moving forward in the direction I know I want to go, then I'm not gonna find those golden opportunities that are coming up for me, whatever they are. I don't know yet. So don't back down. Keep moving forward in the direction that feels right for you. Okay. And yeah, that's actually it. There was something else I was going to say about it. Don't back down. Um, Tap into the heart and remind yourself why you are doing what you're doing. Why am I cycle breaking? What is it going to bring me and my family, or me and the future generations, or me and those around me and my community? There's a reason that we have chosen this. There's a reason that we are doing it together as a collective. So I invite you to keep moving forward. I send you love. I send you whatever support I can give by sending it to you. And by reminding you that you are so powerful for you. Like, you are the reason that things are happening in your life. You have done it. Remind yourself that you have taken the steps. You have done what you needed to do. Don't let anything stop you from connecting to that feeling of, and power again is not power. It's not power. It's a deep inner power that comes from the heart, a deep inner power that says, I know where I'm going. I am valuable. I am worthy. I am loved. I am held. I'm part of this bigger picture. I'm a piece of the puzzle. As we break the cycles, I am continuing to do it for myself and others. And I'm part of something. I'm part of something big. And I'm going to keep walking forward. So I encourage you to keep walking forward. I hope this has been helpful. Please let me know in the comments below if this is something that was helpful to you. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share. Um, the more I do these messages, the more I hope they reach the people that are looking for them. So thank you for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next reading. Bye.